Welcome. I hope that everyone here. Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm short on gold with another trade. So let's begin the day, Thursday. Another very important day after the news. We have seen that there was a huge breakdown on gold and other USD pairs such as euro dollar. We had our live trade. You have seen that yesterday. And we are passing another massive day coming up, which is also on gold. Now at the moment what we see that gold is it formed from 30 minutes time frame a head and shoulder here, and the price slowly coming down to the support level. So there is a consolidation pattern here on gold, and what I'm expecting that the price to drop back to this support, and that's why I'm short on gold at the moment. We are running in profit on that, and I'll keep running that for bigger profit target a bit more. We have partially closed that trade for some profit, and the rest of the half is still running. Now at the moment with the new day opening, so first of all, before I do the full analysis, I would suggest you guys stick till the end of this session. We do open live trades. This is a live trading session for those who are complete beginner. Don't miss out any part of this live session, including the educational content as well as the live session, live trade coming up. I will be opening, and also you can see all the trade that I'm opening. So make sure you stick till the end. And before I progress further, give a big thumbs up. When you like this stream, it shows to more people. That's how you are helping the channel, and I am really appreciating that your support to the channel. So let's see that on. I will be starting with gold, and then we will be looking to Gbpusd and also the euro pairs. So today also euro looks very volatile. 2 more days to go on the weekly time frame for the weekly close, and this is the end of the month, and end of the month is very volatile, especially first week of the month. There is NFP, very volatile. Last week of the month also very volatile. In the middle we see sometimes the market remains a little bit in a sideway. So let's quickly look at here on this instrument on gold how the price is doing at the moment. Now if I look at the daily chart, okay, so we saw that it's a long bearish engulfer. Let me delete that and we'll come back to the trade again. Let me see the daily chart, guys. You see that daily time frame gold has formed a very long bearish engulfer. Now this bearish engulfer is significant. Why? As I mentioned before, the first thing that I look at when I'm trading or I'm sitting on my desk is to look at the daily chart, because when you look at the daily chart you have an overall picture for the whole day. Now this is the daily chart on gold. Okay, so look at how the market reacted to that daily 20 EMA. Now I do more often talk about the daily 20 EMA because daily 20 EMA is quite significant, is a very important area of value. Now if you look at here, you see 10 and 20 EMA crossed from each other, which is a dynamic resistance, and from that zone, whenever the market is going up, getting rejected, creating series of lower high. And this is, you see, this is what, you know, I try to focus, and I also recommend you to look at this kind of price action. So in this box, if you look at the red candles and the green candles, okay, what message you get here? See, this will completely change your perspective in trading, because this is where you can understand the price action and the market structure and the liquidity. So if you look at this box, let me delete this. Look at the red candles and then look at the green candles. So why you need to look at? Because when you look at the red candle, see the volatility of this red candle. So 3000 points. And then look at this one here, the second one, also 3100 points. And look at the one that yesterday formed, almost 2600 points. Now see the green candle. This one has a little bit of momentum, but look at the two other green candles. They form long wick at the top. Now this information is very important for you and as a trader, is because when you look at those information, it gives you a very clear understanding of which way to trade. It's a very important question, right? I do often get this question that should you buy or sell? So if you answer this question, should you buy or sell, this is the answer for this. So what I have explained, that if you look at the red has high volatility than the green, bigger candles, longer candles, it means that this market is bearish. Now if you look at also the overall market structure, now I would like to mention you that by listening I'm saying that bearish doesn't mean that, you know, it's always will be buying or selling. And also I don't recommend you to take a trade based on what just I have said, because it's just the directional bias, and based on what time frame you are trading, it could be even a buy trade for you if you are trading, let's say, on 1 minute chart or even 5 minute chart from a very important support for an impulsive move to the upside. So then why you should be using this information is for the global trend, the major flow in the market. So the major flow is to the downside, and I will be remaining bearish, and also I have remained bearish in today's trade. Early today also I have opened sell on gold. And if you look at the 4 hour now, what we see that it's a strong breakdown. Yesterday we saw that there was a pullback to this resistance and then a strong breakdown. Now here the market structure showing potentially further probability for further drop. And what I think that we could see that gold is again coming back to this daily support level. If you closely look at, you will find this channel. This is the 4 hour time frame, and this is the channel that gold is currently following. And what I think that you see that the price tested the high of the channel, formed series of lower high, okay, has broken down with a very strong bearish candle, has now is consolidating here. At worst case you could see deeper pullback, but what I think that gold is likely to drop even before the monthly close. We can expect a retest of this support level on gold. So this is a potentially downward market at the moment, and I'll just jump on to very lower time frame from the 15 minutes perspective. This is why, you know, here I have opened a sell position early today. This is where my entry was, and the stop loss above this high, and currently I am running in profit on the trade. So I'm expecting it to drop to this level here. Now for our next entry, what I would like to see that if you look at this 30 minutes time frame, you can see that this is a resistance level here, and with that resistance level, this is a resistance level, okay, very important level from the 30 minutes. It may not go up, but if it goes, we will be adding another sell position here, and with all of you guys we will be doing together for this potential move. So this is a bearish market, as there will be a candle close on 1 hour and lower time frame. So if the price managed to go one more push to the upside, we'll be looking for selling again. And what I think that gold for long-term perspective will remain to the downside, and highly likely we could see the price is dropping down to this level. Now it might go up for deeper pullback, and that's what we'll be waiting for, a pullback to the upside for our entry opportunity. Now in the meantime, let me know which one you are looking at, and thank you for joining the live session. Let me know if you are hearing me. Morning boss, thank you very much. Vincent, good morning. Gold is highly tricky now on daily. Yes, we see that on the daily, gold is currently it formed a very long bearish candle, and I'm expecting it to drop down in the direction. You on sell? Why you talking about the gold only? No, I also talk about other pairs also. We talk about Gbpusd. Yesterday we had a trade on euro dollar, so I believe that you were present on that. I just started with gold, and yeah, let me know if you have any pair that you are trading on. So let's see here on now in this area, you can see that it's consolidating in a very narrow range. You look at, so it's a very narrow range here, and with that narrow range we can look for the price to come down to create a new lower low. So I will be looking for that drop to happen. So it might struggle to break down, but ultimately what I think that we could see a break to the upside and then rejection in that direction. So here is we see a bit more consolidation. So this consolidation on gold might give a bit more upside pullback, and then we could see that the market is coming down to create a new lower low. Now in the meantime, let me know guys if you can hear me. I hope that you are enjoying the live session. We have started another trade day, and if you are enjoying, don't hesitate to like the stream, and also don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel. I do post a lot of content every day and every week to help the trader. So can you make the like to same as the viewer? That helps. Thank you for your support to the channel. Now at the moment, as we can see, we have found a potential direction on gold. I will be now looking at euro dollar and GBP and let me know if specifically you are looking at any other instrument that you are trading. So let me see that on euro dollar. Now you can see that euro dollar, we had a very good trade yesterday, and I want to see that this one also giving us another opportunity. So you see that euro dollar has made a big move to the upside to the daily resistance level, daily 20 MA, from back to back almost 4 days of long week candle, and then we see slowly now the price is rejecting. I think that euro dollar, it's my personal opinion, I think euro dollar will drop to this level, to this support. What do you think about euro dollar? So today, let me read that. Now today there is another news coming. Let me look at the Forex factory. Looking at the calendar on Forex factory. So looking at, if we look at the calendar on Forex factory on euro dollar, we can see 12:15 AM euro. Okay, so this is the 12:15 AM coming up later today, which we will be covering in this live session. But that news will have an impact on all over the day in the daytime. So there is a good move for today on euro dollar. So let's quickly look at euro dollar, and I want to see first of all the weekly chart on euro dollar, and starting with also the monthly. Now if you look at the monthly chart, now why am I looking at the monthly? Because monthly, weekly, higher time frame will give you a clear direction, removing all the noise from the lower time frame. So when you look at the higher time frame, you can find a very clear idea about what the market might be doing on the lower time frame. So from the monthly, if you look at, once the market opened here, we saw that there was a drop, a big drop here, and this is almost at the end of the month. The market is still remaining bearish, and I think that with that drop we can expect euro dollar to drop down to create a new lower low. So there is a probability for euro dollar to drop down to create a new lower low. Now if you look at the weekly chart, what we see that previous week a bearish candle, this week with the gap opening there is another long candle with the gap opening, and what I think that the price will try to, so whenever the price is going to the resistance here, it is getting rejected, and the way this market is heading, I think that it's gonna drop to 1.0758. Now as I mentioned, it's my opinion, it could just go up also, so make sure that you do also your own analysis before making any trading decision. So for me, I always use high probability trade. For me, the probability for euro dollar is to the downside, to this support level. Now if we look at the daily chart, here is the daily price action. Now here is the most important part on the daily, is that this is a resistance line, and you can see quite a few long week candles here. This is a big long week candle on euro dollar. Yesterday there was a huge volatility. Now with that volatility, the market reached that resistance level, form a very long week candle. Now as euro dollar daily candle closed below this level, below the weekly resistance and multiple liquidity gap here, I think that has given a momentum for euro dollar to drop to this support level. And this is also a very important point to look at. When you see that a market gathering liquidity from one side, it's gonna move the other side. right? So this is another important. So if you are very curious, you can look at the chart. Okay, so I would recommend always be curious, because you know that a good trader are those who are curious in their approach. Now if you look at euro dollar, you can see that here is long wick candle, and then quite a few times here is also liquidity grab, here is also liquidity grab. So when the market grabs liquidity like that, it's a sign that the market wants to move in one direction. And as the market gathering liquidity along the way, we can expect for the market to drop down further. So what do I mean by this liquidity? You see that? Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we will be covering many pairs one by one, definitely. No, my risk to reward is not 1-to-1, but some trade I do open with 1-to-1, because you have seen our euro dollar trade yesterday. It's about also the probability. So let me tell you in what situation sometime I open 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade, especially when you see the stop loss gap is very high, but the probability for going to the trade to the profit target is high. So you know, risk reward is very important. And also the most important missing piece of puzzle of this risk reward is the probability, that almost I would say that 95% trader don't understand it, and that's why you see that there's a high losing in trading. Let me tell you why it is important, guys. It's very important. So what is the difference between the risk reward and probability? See, once you understand it, you will understand. I will give you an example. First, let me explain. It will change your view completely, how you look at the market, and then you can justify with the chart. So if you look at the, let's say, a trade like that, right? And then you look at a trade like this. It depends on your strategy also. So trade like this, right? Now this is a 3-to-1 risk to reward, and this is 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay, so then which one is more profitable? See, until you know the probability to happen, you don't know which one is mostly profitable. Okay, so this is what you need to understand first of all. Again, I'm repeating. For example, let's say this is 1-to-1, this is 1-to-3. Now if you place a trade that has a 70% probability, then this trade is a good one. But if you have a 50% probability with the trade, it is not a good trade. On the other hand, if you look at this trade with, let's say this is 3-to-1 risk to reward, with 40% probability, it is a good trade. While this one, even with 60% probability, I wouldn't say it's a good trade. But when it goes to, let's say, 70% probability, then it is a good trade. So now let me explain in the context of the chart how you can understand it. Now if you look at, let me go back to the euro dollar trade that we have opened yesterday. This is the live trade that we have opened. Now let me break that down. Okay, so if I break that down here, so in what situation I have opened that trade? Okay, now if you look at this candle, when the price was here, then we have opened that buy on euro dollar, right? In that situation, when we bought, what is the probability for the price to go here? What did I looked at? Let's look at the daily chart. You see, this is the daily 20 EMA. The price did not touch that daily 20 EMA when we have opened that trade. Now if you look at the 15-minute chart, okay, what do you see here? There is an inverted head and shoulder here. The price formed multiple liquidity gap from here. There was a bull flag that has ultimately broken down and then gone back up. The market is trending and we have seen a very strong momentum to the upside. So now, what is the probability for the price to go to that point before it is coming to this point? That's how the probability works. So basically, it depends on the probability, and you need to combine with the risk reward. When you are using a high risk reward, let's say some of my strategy has 5-to-1 reward to risk. So when you are using 5-to-1 reward to risk, you need to wait. Your win rate will be dropping a lot. And when you are using a high risk to reward, your win rate will drop. But when you are using the low risk reward, you need to pick the trade that has a high probability. So you cannot judge only based on risk reward what a trade could be, rather than you need to combine both risk reward and the probability to understand what is the good trade or what is the bad trade. I hope that you understood it. If you don't, let me know. We'll be discussing more on that. So it comes down to also over time with experience. Once you gain that experience, it becomes much easier for you to understand how the market will moves and how everything works. So now here is okay, gold. We just saw that one is moving in that direction. Let me go back to the euro dollar. So euro dollar, you see that here after this drop in that direction, we see a big move to the upside. The price has dropped to this level. Now let's see where we can find our next trade on euro dollar. Now if we look at, first of all, monthly chart on euro dollar, we can see that we already looked at that. We already looked at the weekly. There's a gap opening and the market is trying to drop. And looking at the daily here, we looked at that. So we saw multiple liquidity gap, and for me the chances for euro dollar to drop is high. For example, if I look at the probabilistic perspective, let's say if you ask me what is the probability for euro dollar to go to this resistance and to come back to this support, see. So that's how also, let's say if you, as I mentioned, if you are a beginner, then it is a good idea to understand this concept, because that's how you can always maximize your potential, profit potential. And you also need to increase the risk when you are using a high probability trade. It's the way it works. See, when I'm using a very high risk reward, then I drop my risk a lot, because otherwise without dropping the risk, it's almost impossible for you to maintain a profitability. But when you are using a high winning rate, for example, you want to win more trades, all right, rather than taking the loss, then you need to you need to increase your risk. Doesn't mean that you will be risking 10%, 20%. Probably if you are using, let's say, a 5-to-1 reward to risk ratio trade, then worth to use 0.25% risk or 0.1% risk. But when I'm using the low risk reward, then I high probability trade, that very high chance that the TP will hit, then I increase the risk to 2%, 3%, depending on where I am trading. Not more than 2%, but in very unusual cases 3%, and then I immediately close partially some profit to drop the risk. That's how it works. So if you look at in this zone here on euro dollar, now for example, what is the probability for euro dollar to drop down to this level before bouncing to that level? Will be determining based on lower time frame. So if you look at here, see, this is a support level. The market has gone up, overextended to the upside, coming back down. Now for euro dollar to drop to the support to this level before going to that level is for me 80% probability. But at the same time, you need to look at the risk reward. You see, risk reward. So that's how you can combine a probability with the risk reward, so that you can always stay profitable long-term perspective. So euro dollar, what I am looking at is, already we have seen there's a 4-hour candle closing. Already we have seen that a big drop. So any pullback will give us potential selling opportunity on euro dollar. Is WTI breaking upward now? Infinity WTI. So looking at WTI, I was looking early today on WTI. We saw that quite a few long week candles here on WTI. So if you look at the monthly chart on WTI, from this support, if you look at WTI here, we see that the price was forming series of lower high, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. The price may maintain series of lower high, and the price now approaching that monthly, for the first time, monthly resistance. So if it breaks to the upside, it will break that series of lower high. So when you see a very strongly trending market suddenly has broken the series of lower high, the price may return back down again. So there is a chance for WTI drop down to create a new lower low. So that's why it is, even if it is breaking to the upside, what it could do, it could make that move up, and chances for another drop is high, because a big trend consolidation breakout, we could see again return back after breaking this monthly resistance. Okay guys, so before I progress further, can you give a thumbs up? That helps the channel, and you know that it really helps to the channel to grow. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press that bell notification so that you are not missing out any of the content that I am posting every day. So if you look at WTI, what we see that in this movement, again I am going to the monthly to explain that concept again. So when you see a market forming series of lower high in an uptrend, or let's say in a downtrend, then once the market will break that series of lower high, in most of the cases you will see that the price will drop back again below the monthly low because it already made a move. So if we look at the weekly, the price is breaking out of that consolidation pattern, and we can expect a break to the upside. But at the moment, in what situation I will be going long, because it's locally uptrend, right? So let me draw this support, and let's go to the daily. Okay, now here is the daily. You see, this is the daily channel. If you look at the lower time frame, you will find the daily channel, and previous day also a bullish middleman. There's a doji here. I'll wait for the price to drop deeper and then to go back up. So from the intraday time frame on WTI, this is where we can see, if you look at this market, you see this is where the price was maintaining that support, and it could ultimately move in this channel. The level that I have drawn, a chance for WTI to drop for deeper pullback. If it drops, then from the swing trading perspective, from higher time frame perspective, this is the level that I will be interested to go long on WTI. I do trade WTI also. It's very good instrument for trading. Do you trade WTI? I want to see how many traders here trade US oil. So can you let me know? I want to see how many traders trade WTI. Good morning, coach. Your view on dollar CAD? Yeah, we'll be looking at that. Gold is on the move. Yeah, gold is always on the move, which is very common. Now 4-hour close, if we see that before the 4-hour close it's not breaking down, we might be taking profit with the current trade. I have already closed partially this trade, so as I mentioned, I took 2% on that, and once the price has come to some profit zone, I took 1% off. This is what, when I see a trade that has a high probability, even if I take bigger risk, I just take some profit from the table and then let the rest run. So that's how I can reduce the risk. So I love trading oil. Okay, so anyone here on trading oil? Okay, so this is a gold resistance on the 15-minute chart, expecting it to drop down, break down to this level. So from 5 minutes, okay, here is, we see that gold is, yeah, we can expect for the price to, I want to see that a bit more manipulation to the upside for selling. I'll remain bearish on this instrument as I mentioned before. how do you close trade on very simple, the same as the MT4. So partial close is what, so if you open any position, let's say 0.1 lot, so if you want to close 50%, you just need to close 0.05 lot. That's how you can close partially. So let me show you, because I'm currently running free trades. Which one? So it's currently okay. So if I precisely tell you exactly, let's say you open a trade on gold with 0.02 lot or 1 lot, right? And then you want to close 50% profit, you just need to close 0.5 lot, so it will close. So if you are in profit, it will close half of the profit, the rest of the half will keep running on that. So that's how you can close partially on. I think that's the best way to do that. In MT4, MT5, they are same. Okay, there is no fundamental difference in closing profit. MT4 and MT5 only different in algorithm, but in interface there is not much in difference. Okay, now if we look at euro dollar again, from this time frame on euro dollar, this is a massive move to the upside on euro dollar, and we see the market is coming down to that level here. And with that said, now to sell euro dollar, I just need to see that it has broken out again before dropping down. The chances for dropping down is high. So as I mentioned before, to see the directional bias in a market, what we need to do is to look at the liquidity. In the beginning of the session, this is what I mentioned, that when you see a market gathering liquidity from one side, one direction, you'll see the market is jumping on the other side. So I'll be discussing to that point, will definitely help you. Now before I go to that point, can you give a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet? Okay, why do you enter a trade when price is consolidating? We will be talking about that. You can enter a trade when the price is consolidating. It depends on what time frame you are looking at, if you have an entry, because imagine that you entered a trade on the 4-hour time frame based on structure and price action. Now the price might be consolidating on the 5 minutes or 1 minute, so that's fine. It depends on where you are trading, what's your strategy behind. So I'll be clarifying so that you understand it very clearly. Thought on dollar yen, you will be looking at that. So let me first go to that point, guys. This will help you to understand bigger move in the market. So let me go to that point. Let's say a market had a big impulse and then doing like that. I'll show you plenty of examples. Okay, like this, and then trending and then doing like that. Right, so this is a selling market. In majority of the time you will see that. I will show you an example on that. So what does that mean is that when you see here which way the market is gathering liquidity from, it's gathering liquidity from the resistance. All right, so that means that more and more seller in this market, or the bigger volume seller in the market. So let me now bring to that on the chart. You see, this is the same pattern here, a very strong impulse, and see how the market gathered liquidity from here, and it made a big move, and also here, and it's still doing the same thing. You see, gathering liquidity and then had another drop. So it's doing the same thing here. It brought to the upside, gather liquidity, so chances for another drop is high. So that's how one can predict a movement in the market based on how the market is gathering liquidity. Now, why this happened? As I mentioned, why is very important. Now, why is important not only in trading, I believe that it's very important in trading as well as for trading as well. So why is a big reason, because trading is hard. I know that, trading is hard, definitely, or also easy. It depends on how you take it. But trading is hard when it comes down to handling the emotion, because it brings a lot of emotional resilience to become a trader. So if you are a trader, if you believe that you are a trader, definitely you are very resilient in terms of emotion, right? So then when you have a why, very good why, it becomes easier to hold on to that emotion, definitely, because why is absolutely important when you are trading, for trading and in trading. So for trading means, for example, why we are trading, what's the reason? Am I trading for doing what, like wanna make an extra income, or you wanna do something or quit some kind of job that you maybe don't like? But I don't recommend you to quit the job now, because always first prepare yourself, prepare yourself, and then once you are fully ready, then you can quit. But at least you need to do something, isn't it? Because if you accept the reality that the offer, the reality is offering you, if you accept that, that's a very positive thing. But if you settle on that, then it's not, you'll keep the experiencing the same reality. So it is always a good idea, accept first. Acceptance reduce the resistance. So this is a big point to look at. When you accept, you actually reducing the resistance. Anything we want to achieve or have is within the reach, as long as you accept the current, what's happening, and how many trade or what is the situation currently, accepting, and then it drops the resistance, and then easily jumping on to the next step, what to do to be profitable or to be a trader, or what is the next step. So if I give you a precisely, for example, let's say a person or someone wants to, being a trader means that you want to build up a business, right? You want to do a business that will give you the freedom. Freedom is the, I think that everyone wants that freedom, right? Everyone, I believe that everyone will agree with me that in one point is that everyone wants the freedom, right? So having a business, having a laptop or computer, trading, and then it's a freedom, right? Making profit and then paying the bills, it's freedom, and that is comes from acceptance. So what do I mean by this? Let's say a person in a situation where he has a very difficult situation where he cannot properly, not being able to prove his own ability to live a very fulfilling life. And then if the person regret for it, for example saying that, okay, shit, this is not I wanted, right? So this is not I wanted. Now what's happening is that focus is going to the point where what is not wanted. And what happened is that when we pay attention to something, we automatically tune into that reality. That's everything works like that. So attention creates the reality, right? So you need to tune in to the version of you, what you want to be, instead of what you don't want to be. If you ask, let's say, 10 people out of 9 will know exactly what he or she doesn't want to experience, but very few have a very clear idea about what I want to experience. And once you have that clear idea, the next step is to accept that what is current is okay, this happens, and then focusing the attention to where I want to go, okay, what I want to be, and holding on to that attention for long enough to become its reality. The rest will be taken care by itself. So this is a very important point to look at when you want to be traders. So make sure that, I believe that everyone here will be able to, not will be able to, already have made your way to be a consistently profitable trader, because it's definitely possible. The only thing that you need is, don't quit, don't take bigger capital for beginning for trading, maybe $100 or a $500 or $1,000 max, and then stick to that, or maybe trade on a demo, that's okay. But if you are trading on live, keep a smaller account and then grow that. Try to learn the real how the trading works, okay? Give yourself some time. Experience is the key to be profitable trader. Experience, guys. You need some time. If you are in 6 months, 1 year, I would say stick to it, okay? Stick to it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. You're gonna be right. So that's how everything works. So let's see now that we discuss on how you can predict a market for a bigger movement, which way it is heading, that we discussed. Now if you look at this one here, now let me show you the same examples in different areas. See, this one, we saw one candle gather liquidity, but it didn't do the way we expected. Now one thing you need to understand when you look at this kind of movement, if, let's say, an uptrending market, a big green move, and then the next move came back like that with a big red move, that's not a probability for dropping, that's probability for going up. So let me repeat that. Let's say, guys, what I'm saying will be, because these are the nuance that you can keep notes when you are looking at the market, to thinking that should I buy or sell. So this is a green move, right? Now if you look at, let's say, a move like that, a move like this, this is not a bearish move, right? This is a rather bullish move, because it's a one go. Then which one is the bearish move? When you see this kind of move, and then pull back, and then pull back, again liquidity grab, and then another drop, pull back, liquidity grab, and then another drop, pull back, liquidity grab. So when it does that, that's the sign that it's gonna drop below or even further lower side. So when it goes in one go, when it drops, that's the sign of further bounce back up. So if I show you the real chart example on that, you see this is where you see that the market gather, how it gather liquidity, has given another drop and doing the same thing. Okay, it's repeating the same pattern, and it did the same thing yesterday with the news release. We saw that, you see this green one move to the resistance, it in fact has given the price to drop back down again. Okay, so it did that. Let me show you some example like that. You see this one here, a move, and see how when the price dropped, how it dropped, and when the market is going up again, see when the market gathering those liquidity, it is a sign of further upside, and it did the same thing here. So now here is, because it gathered liquidity, the bias for euro dollar is in this direction, in this downtrend. Right. So now let me look at gold. Right. So gold, again we see that rejection has come down. So gold, I am expecting it to break in that. So you see that with this green move from that level, we have seen primary drop. So there is a wickless candle. Because there is a wickless candle here, before it is breaking that, what happened? We might see that it's going with more upside for deeper pullback. There is a 1 hour 20 EMA also here. Okay, the way it is forming long wick candle in that area, we might see that it needs a deeper liquidity from here before dropping down. For some time it's really high risk. Sometimes it's really high risk. So why it's really high risk? Why do you enter a trade when the price is Okay, so look, gold is down. Okay, in EGU sell. So you're on the GBP USD sell. Let me see that here on. Okay, now here is now euro dollar and GBP USD almost doing the same thing. Okay, we see that same pattern is repeating with euro dollar and GBP USD. GBP USD looks to me a bit more bearish than euro dollar at the moment, but 1 hour there is a bearish candle. Any break to the upside will give that selling opportunity again on GBP USD, which eventually could happen. Now we might see a break to the upside on GBP USD. So GBP USD, if I look at the daily chart, like the euro dollar, we saw that there is a big long candle, and the price basically on GBP USD has broken this resistance. You see above this daily doji is a very important area, and from that level we saw that GBP USD had a big drop in that direction. So currently what I think that GBP USD, we could see that the market is coming down to this support level here, which is highly likely to happen. And okay, so for after this move we can expect GBP USD to drop down to this level here. So chances for GBP USD from the lower time frame is to go up for a pullback, as the market, as I mentioned before, gathering liquidity from the top. There is one here. This is what we discussed. You see there is a move here, and after that what happened, there is one liquidity here because it made a drop and then gone up. It's come back down. There is one liquidity candle here. Also there is one here. There's one here. So basically it is a bearish market at the moment. So any pullback to the upside, especially to this 1 hour 20 EMA or above this candle, I'll look for short on GBP USD. And I think that that will make that price after this pullback, we could see it's coming down below this doji or further below this level. So we'll wait for any kind of liquidity gap from here, and then we'll be looking for that selling opportunity. Gbpusd, yes, we will be looking at that. Now before I go to the Gbpusd, I believe that guys, you are enjoying the live session. Make sure you like the stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press that bell notification so that you are not missing out any of the content that I'm posting every day. Okay, so gold, I'll be looking at Gbpusd first. Let me see that gold, how far it's moving. So this is an imbalance. You see there's a fair value gap here. If you are not sure about the fair value gap, let me know. So here is the resistance and support here. I'll be looking for the price to highly likely will see that downside momentum because it already gathered liquidity from here. Okay, so looking at that, let it run in that area, and in the meantime looking at Gbpusd. So Gbpusd, looking at the daily chart here, after this daily drop we see the market again trying to move up. From the daily, looking at the weekly, also we see that it's in a very narrow range on the weekly. It's a very narrow candle. In the first couple of days there wasn't much volatility, but what I think that it may drop from this level. Let's draw all these resistance level. If you look at the monthly here, so from the intraday, see this market currently on Gbpusd, it's not a very pleasant looking market. If you look at the shape of the market on GJ, is not looking very pleasant how this is looking here or looking here. So what I think that we might see that the market is going to the weekly resistance again, maintaining this lower high. We might see further drop and it might go up for a bit more consolidation here, and slowly we could see that. So this is a, if you look at here, this is a structure, and as the market respecting this dynamic resistance, I think that GJ is going to go there and then to dropping down in that direction. So from that perspective, so if I look at this structure, this is very highly likely that we will see a break to the upside and then the bias will be down. This is at the moment not a very, you see how choppy Gbpusd, not a very good market for, not a very good market for buying or selling until we see a breakout. Rather looks that euro, dollar and gold looks very good. Okay, so gold is, because it's trending, so this is what I was talking about, that gold trade that I have opened is not about entering in a sideways market, it's about the entering with probability. All right, so this is what I discussed, that the probability is the main key here. So because my intention here for this trade is to close with profit, right? Because I don't want to see that, but at the same time I do proper risk management in all my trade, which is essential. So this is what I know, that before it is going there, chances for a downside is high. What happened? There was a, so at the moment okay, we see that the chances for dropping to that level is very high, and we see that movement. So with that being said, we see a long red candle is forming here, and at the moment I want to take that profit. because it's candle closing, we might see now upside bias. I have taken that profit for this trade. Let me update the group. Okay, so I have closed with the trade with profit, because we might see now as this candle closing on 4-hour, there is another chance for, after gathering, we might see now a deeper pullback to the upside, especially 1-hour. If you look at the 1-hour chart, there is a 20 EMA here. It may try to go up to retest this 20 EMA, which is a very important 20 EMA. And once the price will hit that level, we can look for selling again. Once you'll see that, okay, so let me see euro dollar again. So far this session's candle didn't move much, so basically it's gonna give a bit more momentum in the upcoming session, highly likely. And in the meantime, let me know what's your pair that you are looking at. Okay, so I will be quick because there's a 4-hour candle close, guys. Stay tuned. I will be looking at all the pairs to will quickly go through, will scan all of them to see who is doing what. Bitcoin. Anyone here who trade Bitcoin? Do you trade Bitcoin? Anyone in the live session? CAD CHF. So Euro CAD we have seen after this big move. GBP USD, among all, I see that GBP USD and euro dollar, you see this is the candle closing on GBP USD in 5 minutes, and among all I see that euro dollar and GBP USD looking very promising. So you might see pullback and then potential drop. Just looking at all of them. Dollar yen, look at it. Dollar yen, it is also trending. Dollar yen, so GBP USD, like the euro dollar, showing bearish pattern. 4 hour closing as a narrower red candle, 3 minutes remaining. So you see that it's still dropping down. And if we look at the daily chart on GBP USD, the price already coming to the daily support level, and I think that we might see the price coming back to the daily support. So chances for downside is high. Now the way it has formed that price action here, any pullback to the upside today, any pullback to the upside, will be looking for selling on GBP USD. Sell or go, thank you. So you are in sell on which instrument? Gold closed the buy entry, took a sell. So gold is bearish. You see that it's a bearish market. So any as the news coming, we might see that the price is going up for deeper pullback. Now that pullback could be to this level. Okay, this is a previous support and resistance, which is along with the 4 hour 20 EMA. Okay, if we look at the weekly, also we see that this is a bearish market at the moment. Gold from the weekly. Okay, so let me do a multi-time frame analysis, is very important on gold, and then I will be looking at again freshly in the chart. Guys, keep in mind that always it is good idea to look at the chart from the beginner mindset. When we look at the chart, it always tricks us because the mind is always very, very unpredictable. The mind always tricks us. You'll see that when you look at the chart for long term, then at some point you might be seeing that there was no trade, but after watching the chart for 5-10 minutes, you started to see a lot of trades. So to avoid that, always refreshing, resuming, it's very important, looking at the chart from a fresh perspective. So before I look at the fresh perspective, guys, can you give a fresh thumbs up to the channel? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Done. Thank you for the support to the channel. Now looking at gold again from higher time frame, and then we'll jump onto the lower time frame. Looking at the monthly chart to see overall direction in the market. Now from the monthly, if we look at, we can see that this is the monthly resistance, and with that resistance the price had a big drop so far, right? Now with that drop, what we can expect for the price to come down to create a new lower low. Though monthly the price was creating a series of higher low, we can expect for the price to come down to create a new lower low. Now looking at the weekly chart, previous week a candle that has a long wick at the bottom, which eventually now filling that long wick. So because the market is filling that long wick, and below that there is a weekly 20 EMA, chances that the price will come down to hit that 20 EMA and then to break down or even to create a new lower low. So if you look at the daily chart, this is what in the beginning I have discussed. From the daily, gold is, you see that it was maintaining series of lower high here, and with that series of lower high there is a long bearish engulfer, followed by, we can see that the market in this area is slowly dropping down, and we can expect for the price to drop down further. From the intraday perspective, we see that just candle closed. It might do a little bit of consolidation here, and I think that with the news coming up, we might see it will try to drop further in that direction. So for me, this is why I have closed that position here. We might see that now complete sideways movement or a break to the upside to this resistance, and then we'll be looking for selling. Now as soon as I find the trade, I do share all my trade in the VIP group. If you want to learn the strategy that I'm trading currently, you can join us. Link below this video in the description area. Once you are on the website, if you click join now button, then you will be able to join to learn the strategy that I'm trading. Now if you look at the 15-minute chart here, this market is still maintaining that consolidation pattern, and what we see that this is a channel, and that channel is, if we see that that channel has broken to the upside, then only we can again look for selling, because a pole here which is showing a bull flag, so which we expected initially to drop further, it didn't. Now if it breaks to the upside, then it's gonna have another trend in that direction. Let me see here. I think gold UK session will go up until 20. Thank you very much, Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, guys, we see that a bit more slower movement. So next session we could see that the market coming with a bit more stronger movement, which possible, and I will keep eye for any trade coming. I'll be coming on live again in NY session. I'll see you there. If you are there, definitely we'll see there. Until that, stay well, stay happy. Make sure you manage your risk when you are trading. And thank you for joining the live session. I'll see you very soon, trading live together. Stay well, stay happy. Thank you.